Hey guys, it's Tim, and thanks for tuning in to Watchers on the Couch. It's been a while since we've got together and talked about Game of Thrones. A lot of crazy stuff's happened, both in life and some news in the show. We've got Game of Thrones sweeping the Emmys. We had rumors of Angela Lansbury joining the cast, and we're going to talk about all those things, but not today. Today's just a quick update to let you know that we're not dead. If you're familiar with this show or you listen to any of the other podcasts, especially Chris is on the road with Thorhammer, where we semi-frequently guest, you know that Sarah and I are actually getting married, and that's actually happening this weekend. So we've been preoccupied trying to get everything together for that, and then we'll be going on our honeymoon. But when we get back in, mid to late October, and then I'll be able to focus on the podcast thing a lot more with this show and some other stuff that I'll get into shortly. But I wanted to give a quick update on how we're doing. We're all doing very well. One of the other reasons I wanted to jump on here is because I haven't got a chance to give a shout out to another show. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, you're probably a fan of other fantasy things, which means you might also be a fan of Dungeons and Dragons. And my buddies Tom and Drew have Tom and Drew's Magic Item Review. That's a podcast where they go through magic items from old tabletop RPG books and talk about how they can be used in a game. It's a great podcast. They're not actually part of the network, but I did help them get up and running a few months ago, and I told them I'd give a shout out on the podcast, and we haven't had an episode since then. So I'm going ahead and make this special shout out for them as I talk about other stuff we've got going on. The helping Tom and Drew's Magic Item Review get online actually inspired me to start a new podcast where I'm going to be talking more about Onyx Edge Studios and all the stuff that we're doing here. So it'll be kind of like a behind the scenes of what all we got going on here. So I'll be interviewing other people from the podcast about what got them into podcasting, what inspires them to do their shows. I'll be going through archives of old recordings because some of us have a long history of collaborative audio projects, and I discovered some of those, so I'll be sharing those with you. Sometimes we have shows that we don't know where else to put, like the Podstravaganza Christmas special, which a couple of those episodes have been on Chris's podcast, but there's more of those episodes that probably don't actually fit Chris's podcast that we might throw out there. And sometimes we might want to test the waters of a pilot for a new show on the network. So we'll probably be throwing those out on there. We've got one of those coming up. And then I'll be talking about the podcast stuff that we're doing right now, plans for the future, things like that. So I've got some questions coming in from people I know. You can also shoot me any questions you want. You can follow me at Beard vs. Evil on the Twitter and Instagram. Tweet me with the hashtag OnEdge. So that's going to be the name of that podcast. You can also shoot a message to any of the Onyx Edge accounts, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram. I'll get those as well and compile all those accordingly. One of the things you can do is jump on onyxedgestudios.com. Throw your email into the newsletter sign up, and you will get updates on things that we have going on here. There'll probably be maybe a weekly recap of the podcast that came out for the week in case you missed them, because sometimes they get lost in the shuffle of the deluge of social media posts. But yeah, so I think that's it. So I just want to give a shout out to all the other shows on the network. Ren is Due and On the Road with Thorhammer, both doing great, getting a lot of positive feedback on those. So if you're not checking those out, please do. And then my podcast, On Edge, will be coming soon, probably in the latter half of November. So again, sign up for the newsletter, throw that in there. You'll get updates for when that comes out. And then also, once again, Tom and Drew's Magic Item Review. If you're a Dungeons & Dragons fan, it's definitely something you want to subscribe to and check out. It's very entertaining. So that's it for now. We will be back, hopefully, the end of October, with the four of us sitting down, Chris, Mike, Sarah, and myself, and we will discuss the things that are going on Game of Thrones-wise. So, thanks for listening, thanks for stopping by, thanks for caring, and as always, subscribe, review, and share with your friends.